Hi guys, I hope you're all doing well. So as you guys know, Tati dropped her video breaking her 2-month-long silence following the anniversary after Bye Sister and Dramageddon 2. This is madness. I watched her video twice and I'm still kind of at a loss. The allegations Tati made in her video, it's appalling. I say allegations not because I don't believe Tati or find the information credible, but more because there's no solid proof that's come out yet, and I can't refer to it as fact until proof is provided. Tati alleges that Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star manipulated her into making Bye Sister. Basically, Shane and Jeffree were a lot more involved in Dramageddon 2 than we all originally thought. Tati says that Shane wanted to work on the Bye Sister video for her. She says Jeffree showed her the voice memo that allegedly incriminates James Charles, and she says that it was enough to scare her. Tati was very vulnerable on camera, and she spoke about her own experience with sexual assault, which I thought was really brave of her. That must have been terrifying for her, and I really felt for her when she said that. I don't think she'd have any reason to lie about her own experience. Given that Jeffree and Shane told her that James was assaulting minors, and given her own experience with sexual assault, I can better understand what was going through Tati's mind when she made Bye Sister. That doesn't excuse it, but it explains it to me. So I want to address some of the criticisms I've seen floating around about Tati's video. One criticism I'm seeing a lot is that she spoke off of a script. I actually think that speaking off of a legally approved script was a really smart thing to do. It didn't make it seem any less authentic to me because she says the words are her own. And the words she spoke, they sound like Tati, like I 100% believe she wrote it. Another criticism is that she cried. I mean, I understand why she cried. I don't fault her for crying. She seemed truly upset and emotional. I can also understand why crying might have turned people off from the video, but personally, it didn't bother me at all. And lastly, the biggest criticism I've seen is that she didn't take full accountability for her role. Okay, so I have some thoughts on that. I've been thinking on this for a little bit. I think Tati took as much accountability as she publicly could. She publicly apologized to both James Charles and Jackie Aina, and I think those apologies were both well-deserved, and it was long overdue. We know from the video that James has privately forgiven her. Jackie, I'm not sure. I do want to say that Jackie is under no obligation to accept Tati's apology. That is 100% her prerogative. But Jackie deserved an apology, like no question. I don't want it to be forgotten that Tati made Bye Sister. It was ultimately her decision to film and post that video. I think she came off as a bad friend and a bad mentor to James, but I think she knows that and I think she regrets that. She acknowledges publicly, and I'm sure she's done it privately, that she abandoned him. She did acknowledge that she is a smart, grown-up woman who willingly ignored all the red flags she saw because she thought that she could fix Jeffree. I'm not sure why she thought that was her responsibility. Maybe she really did think she would be a good influence on him. I'm glad she apologized to James and Jackie and acknowledged that it was a mistake to work with and befriend Jeffree Star. I don't know why she thought she could fix him. Like, I don't know what kind of mindset that is, honestly. I know Tati's very big on love and forgiveness, but there are some things that you just can't fix about a person. To be racist, that's a core bias, that's a core prejudice. And if in Jeffree's 30s, he hasn't figured out that it's not okay to be racist, I don't know if he can ever figure it out. That's not to say that people can't be informed or educated, and that's not to say people can't change, but based on what I know about Jeffree Star, I don't think he'd be willing to change. The fact that she snubbed Jackie, an actual Black woman, to work with a reformed racist, I don't know how to feel about that. It's just weird that Tati wanted to be a good influence on Jeffree and show him that racism is bad, but she was almost complicit with his racism because ultimately she chose a racist white man over defending Jackie Aina. And I used to like Tati a lot, but that in itself says a lot to me. But because I love Tati and I felt like I got to know her through her videos, I think I believe her when she said she was manipulated. I do. As for her taking full accountability, if she was indeed manipulated, that is a part of the story. It might make her public apology sound less sincere, but the important thing is that James the person who was most wronged in this situation forgave her in private. And if she was like really truly manipulated, this isn't a case of her just pointing fingers at everyone but herself. Anyone of any background, of any age, can be manipulated. I'm not sure why her age is a question at all here, honestly. People of all ages are in toxic friendships, abusive relationships. Most people, if not all people, don't wake up one morning and decide, I'm never going to be manipulated again. I also believe what she said about the voice memo, that it was scary, but not enough for her to actually go to the authorities. But I do think if Shane and Jaffree had information and didn't go to the cops, that's just evil. That's straight up evil. So I just kind of want to talk about my thoughts on the video, on the situation as a whole, or the situation as it is right now. I can state my opinion, but I don't want to make any final judgments on the situation because I can't speculate about things that I don't have facts on. However, I can speak about the recent goings on in the beauty community and about the information that has already come out. So with that being said, I would like to talk about Shane's response video. When I say response, I really mean his incoherent rambling on his live stream. I think the Shane we saw on this live is the real Shane. That's who Shane Dawson is. I don't think that Shane is really the person that he's made himself out to be online. The things that he said in the live stream and the things that Tati alleges he said and did to her are just gross. Firstly, in his live stream, he could barely form a thought. He was straight up freaking out on camera. This live makes him look really, really bad, in my opinion. I mean, Tati had a clearly written, legally approved script. Shane just kind of yelled at the camera and insulted Tati, calling her a liar, a manipulator. The worst thing about Shane's live is that he completely invalidated Tati's sexual assault experience. I would go so far as to say he mocked her. He rolled his eyes at the camera. Then he said she was manipulating people, that she was lying, that her tears were fake. And then right after that, he goes on to say that he was molested. Why did he play that game? I mean, it's as if he was saying that her experience was less valid than his. And if he was saying that she only spoke about her own sexual assault to manipulate people, then that begs the question, what was mentioning his own experience supposed to accomplish? Tati also alleges that Shane offered to edit, find a title, and make a thumbnail for a bi sister. And in his documentary, he acts like it's the first time he'd ever seen the video. Like, that was very telling to me. He had denied for such a long time that he had any role in it. But if what Tati is saying is true, and he did offer to help with the video, that means Shane was lying all along. There were many things about Tati's video that really got me. But one of the biggest things is when Tati told Shane, the night before Bi Sister released, that James was staying on the 50th or 51st floor of a hotel room. She told Shane that she feared he would hurt himself over the video. And Shane told her that James Charles is a narcissist and that he would never do that. Wow, like I have no words for how vile that statement is. That's really rich coming from someone who claims to care about other people's mental health, Shane. One of my personal passions is advocating for education on mental health and mental illness. I want to destigmatize mental illness because it's something that people should feel comfortable discussing. So in my personal opinion, if Shane really did say that, I don't even know how to respond to that. That is a heinous thing to say. And Shane should be ashamed of himself. Like I honestly, I don't know what to say other than that. That is so cruel. Shane, like, you cannot ask for understanding about your depression and your anxiety, but refuse to give it to others. You can't do that. That is the height of hypocrisy, and it disgusts me. That doesn't absolve Tati from responsibility for actually having posted the video. But if Shane really did say that to her, like, wow. Wow. That shows me exactly the kind of person Shane is. I don't know who would want to associate with a person like that. Well, Ryland, I guess. Ryland went on a Twitter tirade against Tati, and he specifically called her a 40-year-old woman and a master manipulator. Wow. Look at the misogyny and ageism in that one statement. Yeah, that's a great look for Ryland. And Shane is only like 6 or 7 years younger than Tati. She's not even 40. But her age isn't entirely relevant because, like I said earlier, manipulation knows no age. I'm glad that Morphe is pulling the conspiracy collection and Target is pulling their Shane Dawson merch, because there need to be consequences for this behavior. And on another point, Morphe should be ashamed of themselves. I am never, ever, ever going to buy from Morphe. I haven't bought anything from them thus far, but this just really sealed the nail in the coffin. They have the gall to drop Shane's collab with Jeffree, but they won't drop any of Jeffree's products. But if Jeffree Star has a high enough stake in Morphe to be considered a co-owner, and Morphe is coming out with hair, skin, nail vitamins, oh God, this is mind-boggling. There's layers to this, multiple layers. Now onto Jeffree. Like I said, I want to hold off on making final judgments until I see some proof, but I can discuss the things that people have already said about Jeffree Star. I find Tati's allegations to be credible because of what other creators have said about Jeffree. His blackmailing, he says himself that he's got dirt on everyone. Other creators have confirmed this too, including drama channels. I can't really speculate on what that dirt is, but if I were to guess, I would say racism, the use of racial slurs. But Tati did say in her video that when this dirt comes out, we should try to be forgiving. This kind of leads me to believe that the dirt Jeffree has is not as black and white as it's going to look to the public. So I think that if and when this information comes out, we have to be both critical and objective. I believe that Jeffree is the master manipulator here. I mean, look at what happens to the people that surround him. It isn't a coincidence that they've all gone down one by one. Like, that information can't be ignored. I mean, Jeffree completely turned the tables on Tati when he spoke with Keemstar and FaZe Banks on Mom's Basement. He says that he didn't ruin James's career. Tati ruined James's career. Tati never said that James Charles was a predator. She never said that in Bye Sister. That was an allegation made by Jeffree Star on Twitter. Jeffree called James a predator. Jeffree went at James's brother on Twitter. Jeffree is the one who said these things. He is the one who's been blackmailing people. He is the one who has been going around showing this voice memo to anyone who'll listen like it's gossip or tea. If that voice memo is legitimate, which I can't speak on because I haven't heard it, then it's not drama, it's not tea, it's not gossip, it's someone's life. God, like that just gets to me. I do wonder how many people he's shown that voice memo to, but he won't give it to the authorities to protect the victim's identity. Are you kidding me? What kind of excuse is that? And by doing this, Jeffree has just made it harder for the victim to come out and speak about their experience, if the victim exists. People like Jeffree are the reason that it's so hard for victims of sexual assault to come out and tell their story. But I guess to fully speak on Jeffree's role in Dramageddon 2, I would need more information. My opinion on him doesn't matter as much as the truth does. But I think other people are going to come out and speak on Jeffree and Shane. I think they'll provide that information. Some possibilities include Nikki Tutorials, Jaclyn Hill, Jackie Ina, Thomas Halbert, probably Gabby Hanna. I'm surprised she hasn't said anything yet. Even Trisha Paytas has given her 2 cents, as per the usual. But I'm surprised she came out and said that she doesn't support Jeffree Star anymore. God damn, Trisha, okay. I know that Trisha made a video on Tati. I could make a whole video talking about Trisha's video on Tati's video, but I honestly don't want to give her the attention. Overall, to kind of conclude this, I will say that I personally believe what Tati has to say. I don't think she was completely naive, and I don't think that she's blameless here. She fell victim to manipulation. But even with that being said, I don't want to downplay her position here. Yes, Bye Sister was her video, it was her decision to make it and post it. But if Jeffree and Shane were truly more involved than they claim to have been, that can't be ignored. I look forward to hearing hard evidence because at this point, there's 3 different sides to this story. There's Tati's side, there's Jeffree and Shane's side, and there's the truth. So yeah, I guess that's all I have to say on the situation. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and please comment down below if you have any thoughts on the situation. I'm really interested to hear your guys' perspective here because there's just so much information coming from so many different sources. And I want to know what you guys are thinking no matter who's like side you're on. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope to see you back soon. Bye.